What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to find the perfect manual bid so you get the most results for the less amount of money. But before we get started, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and before we get into it, make sure you watch until the end because I show you how to scale that campaign to the next level once you figure out that bid. All right, so let's do it. So when it comes to manual bidding, there's a few different things that you gotta know and that you must know. So if it is a brand new ad account and you don't know what your CPA is, your cost per acquisition, we gotta figure out what that sweet spot's gonna be for your bid. Because if you set it too high, then you're gonna spend way too much in your campaigns too fast. And if you set it too low, you're not gonna spend anything at all, so your campaigns are not going to move. Okay, if you already have an account that's been running and you know what your CPA is, so let's say that's cost per acquisition. If you know your cost per acquisition is $20 per purchase, then the rule of thumb of my rule of thumb that I use to get started is 3 times the CPA. So I set my bid 3 times what my CPA is. So it'll be, if my CPA is 20, I will set it at 60. And then I'll take it from there based on the stats that I'm seeing throughout my campaigns, like the cost per click, how fast it's spending, how slow, and whatever. The other thing I know, which is what I'm about to show you, so you got to make sure you watch to the end, is how I calibrate my bidding and how do I figure out what that sweet spot is where you hit it right, you hit the nail right on the head. Okay, so this technique is called the sniper method. And this has been around for a while, and I think my friend Alex Schneel, I can't even pronounce the last name, came up with the name. But I'm about to walk you through on how I will find that sweet spot using the sniper method. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come here, we're going to create a new campaign. So we'll name it Sniper. This is just an account, and we're going to go to conversions. It's a blank account. Sniper 1. It's going to be my ad set name. And then Sniper Creative. Okay. So remember, we're doing this as if we don't know what our bid, if we don't know what our CPA is. Okay. So first thing we're going to know here, we're going to go CBO. Make sure, very important, that you have CBO on. Okay. And you need a budget. You need a good budget. So we're going to set the budget at 100 to start. I really wouldn't recommend this with anything less than $100 because it's not going to work. It could work, but it's going to take forever to get the data back. So just throw the $100 for a day and just try to figure out where your bid should be at. But I would let it run for 3 days minimum, 3 to 4 days minimum. You can do this with any of them: cost cap, lowest cost, whatever. I mean, not lowest cost because that's automated, but cost cap or bid cap, target cost. So let's just do cost cap. That's one of my favorites. So I will grab that. I will close this, go to my ad set level. So I'm going to come in here. And the only reason you're seeing this error is because there's no creative, but we're going to change that. So I'm going to edit this, close, and I'm going to choose an event. So I'm going to do purchase. If you're going for purchase, if you're going for lead, you can select lead, whatever your goal is, you set it at. Next thing you know, as always, I always tell you guys, always change it to midnight. Never start a campaign in the middle of the day. So you select the next day, midnight, whatever. The other thing you're going to do, you're going to choose your targeting. So obviously people who live in the US, if you're doing US, or if you're doing worldwide, just choose whatever. You could, let's say you're starting out wide open, and let's say you need to choose detailed targeting. So let's do CrossFit just for this example. Okay, so we grab that and we're gonna set our cost control. All right, I'm gonna do 1 day click or view because I want my impulse buyers right off the bat. Automatic placements, always use automatic placements. If you choose manual, your costs are gonna be higher. Okay, I don't do manual placements until I get all the way to the end of a scale when the product is already exhausted. Okay, so here's where the tricky part comes in. This is where you're gonna take it to the next level. You're gonna figure out what your bid is. So let's say our product is, I don't know, $40. Okay. So if our product is $40, I'm gonna guess that my Cost per purchase is going to be starting out on a blank account, depending how passionate people are. It could be 20. Oh, you know what? Let's just leave it at 5. Let's start with 5 because I want you to get the idea behind this. So we'll set it at 5. So we grab this, set it up. We need a, and then I'm going to do that. Let's just go back here. All right, so that's sniper 1. Bid is set at $5. So I changed my name here. Save to draft. And then all we have to do is duplicate, and I'm gonna do one at a time. Well, let's just do all. So I'm gonna do 4 ad sets. And depending on your budget, you can go a lot bigger than this. So you duplicate that. Okay. Then you don't have to worry about your targeting all over again. You're keeping everything consistent. Same targeting, same everything, same goals, same everything. The only thing you're going to change is right here. So make sure you close this because they're all selected and you don't want to change all of them. So we're going to change just one. So we're going to change the name and we're going to change our bid to 7. Just a little bit, just a little tap because we're trying to figure out what that sweet spot is. So we'll do 7, come in here, and then I change my bid at 7. Okay. Close that. So the next one, we're going to set at 10. And make sure you watch to the end because you're probably, if you're one of those that's just going to stop right here and stop watching the video because like, oh yeah, I got it. No, there's more to this. So I'm going to set it at 10 right here. Okay, I'm going to change it. So 10. All right. Then here, I'm going to do 12. And there's no really, sometimes I do increments of 5. Sometimes I do increments of 2. It really depends on if you know your numbers or not. You guys gotta remember, I have access to tons and tons of accounts, so I pretty much know what the CPAs are average. Not to the point, because every account's different, but I have an idea of what the CPA usually is depending on the product or the service. So that one will set at 12, and then this one I'm gonna set at, I don't know, let's set it at 17. And then you know what? I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to duplicate this and do 5. Okay. So I'm going to move here. And then this one, I'm going to set times 3. So let's do 17 times 3. So that's going to be 51. So let's set it at 50 even. All right. So this is what happens. Once you set this, your campaigns are going to start running. Okay. And if your bid is too low, the campaign is barely going to move. If your bid is too high, which this one's the 50, is going to spend too fast. All right. So once it gets going, okay, it's a matter of looking at your data. So you look at your data. If that one's spending way too fast, then you look at the others here, and based on the information that you're getting from the ones here, then you can move the bid up and down. So let's say you're looking at your account and let's say there's no movement on 5, no movement on 10. There's some movement on 12, but it's not quite there. There's some movement on 17, but it's not quite there yet. And there's too much movement on 50. Well, at that point, you got to calibrate. Okay. So based on your data, if it's moving too fast, what you got to do, so let's say this one's moving too fast, what you got to do is you got to bring it down. So let's say you're at 12, but it's spending way too fast. Then what I do is I bring it down to 10. And you can change the bid throughout the day. So I'll move it down to 10. So usually what I recommend is I'll change the bid and let it go for 24 hours. So you change your bid to 10 and you hit publish new campaign and it's fine. And that's how you calibrate. Then once you hit that sweet spot of the even numbers like 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, then you can even hone in even more and you can get even more targeted with it. So let's say now you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you're trying to find the sweet spot between those. Well, guess what? You can change the bid in increments of 1. So you can go down to 11, or you could go up to 13. And believe it or not, guys, you're going to see the bid, how the bid affects the traffic, and eventually you will find that sweet spot. And once you figure out what that sweet spot is, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your winning campaign, and this is after like 3 or 4 days, because there's going to be one campaign that's going to bring you most of the sales once you figure out that sweet spot on the bid. So what you do is, let's say my 13 is the one, and that's the perfect sweet spot where the campaign is not spending in acceleration mode, but it's like pacing throughout the day. You get in the most sales with the lowest CPA based on that bid. Now you know what your bid is. So what you do to scale, you grab that, you click here. Sorry, new campaign. What are you doing? Duplicate, sorry. I'm out of it today. New campaign, and you start a new campaign because now you know your bid. So you call it sniper, I don't know, perfect bid, right? So now you have your perfect bid. So you create that campaign with your perfect bid, right? Let's go to campaign level. Grab it here. And now that you know your perfect bid, why is it showing me all the other? Oh, I hate this. Now that we know our perfect bid, we duplicate it onto its own campaign, 13, and then I grab this, same budget, $100, duplicate it 3 more times, share existing reactions and everything, duplicate. And now I'm gonna leave my bid at exactly the same, that same sweet spot. And you leave everything exactly the same, because what's going on here when you duplicate those campaigns at that perfect bid that you already figured out, what you're doing in a CBO is you're hitting different pockets of the audience throughout the day. So Facebook is going to rotate through each audience, but since you're using the same audience with the same bid, you already know this is a winning audience. You already know you have the perfect bid and the winning bid. So now Facebook is going to cycle through all your ad sets one by one throughout the day and send the traffic to the one that it thinks that it's going to convert the most. And now, instead of just hitting one pocket in your audience, you're hitting 4 different pockets multiple pockets throughout the day between 4 different ad sets. And that's how you keep your costs down, and that's how you can scale using manual bidding and the same winning audience. Guys, if you like that video, make sure to let me know in the comments what you think, any questions you may have. And also check out all the links in the descriptions for my top 3 books that took me to the next level. And for now, just move on to the next video. Keep on moving, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.